My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Soon may come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew and all. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I swear I meant to do this. I'm told that.
I don't
Just-
get that you said. So you're saying they promoted Carrie Ann Moss and then no spoilers.
Well, they promoted her
No
and then
spoilers.
had her in a scene.
I see. Okay, and then let's leave it at that. I don't want to spoil it from anyone who hasn't watched it.
Yeah. Oh, are we on?
We are live. Yes,
Oh,
we are live.
hey,
Hello,
buddy.
everyone. Hello, welcome. Welcome
Awesome.
to that
Time to
little
help.
show like we call Okay Seriously, the place where you ask the questions and we get. So, joining me, Green Pants. Always a pleasure, dude.
You know,
And
each time I get to do this, it is definitely the joy of my week. And as always, you know,
Get a phone
I
call.
never know if you're gonna call me back, and 26th time is the
I don't
charm.
either,
So
but I do, yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I
Great.
mean, I know you have to go through a list of other people before you have to settle on
do.
me, and I get that, and that's
I
fine.
do.
But I still like the fact that it ends up being me because no one else will do it. You know, that's cool.
And you're a good friend for that, for sure.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Yes. All right. So for those who don't know, we have 5 questions submitted by our users. We're going to answer them, and hopefully provide you some help, because clearly some of these people are struggling. So that's why
Yeah.
we're here, because we got most of this shit figured out. Although fair to say that we are not professionals in any way, shape, or form. So you know, everything that you're about to hear for entertainment value only. We're not licensed psychologists or
Nope.
any
But
mental
we do have
health care
opinions.
professionals. We have
Um,
strong opinions.
And we're often very correct. So
I think so.
you know,
I think so.
maybe not officially, but you know,
Right. Maybe not
There's
according
wisdom
to
to be
like
had.
the rules of law, but you know.
right. Polite
Alright.
society.
Polite
Yeah.
society, right? Exactly. Sometimes we have unpopular opinions.
It happens.
So anyway,
All right,
alright.
what do we got? Number one.
First, number 1. Here we go. This comes from Jedediah from Provo, Utah. Jedediah says, "What is something I should definitely know if I've never had sex with a woman or even touched any bases before?" How do I stop from being manipulated by the fairer sex? I like girls, but have always been told they are spiritually impure and are known to take advantage of virgins. How do I go about dating without falling into a trap?
Wow. Okay.
Where do I start?
Hey. All right. Hey, Jedediah. How is it going? Take a knee, because this could get a
Mormon
little bumpy.
land.
I don't know if you know this, but you are in a cult. And you're not even in one of like the cool cults with like alien spaceships and like anal play. Like you're in the magical tablet wooden submarine Egyptians crossing the ocean crazy cult. Like it's the one with the magical underwear and the rules that can only be known if the right man can look into a hat. I mean, like it's really obvious, really.
Did you cover the Jews making the submarine? Did you cover that part? The wind submarine.
No, the Egyptians were made the submarine, but I'm sorry if this sounds obvious. I picked up on some clues. First, your name is Jedediah.
Second, Utah.
So, Provo, Utah, and the status of your sexual education borders on criminal at this point. So yeah, those factors kind of led me to believe
fair sex. What are we in 1950s?
Well, no, where we are is in Provo, Utah, in 2024.
Oh my God!
So
no idea.
So we just need to, So if you're looking for one thing that you should learn, it is that you are in a cult.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yes.
Once you arrive at the fact that you're in a cult, the entire rest of your question can be rejected at the premise.
Yes.
I mean, like spiritually impure? Are we in fucking Narnia? Like, are we in a Stephen King novel? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
you have to
just
cleanse the soul.
It's absurd. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, Jedediah, get out of Provo. Okay,
Seriously.
You need to leave Provo. What's happening in Provo is not happening in the rest of the world.
Correct. It's not normal.
You are isolated, and you need to get out.
I think thinking of women in this way is more spiritually impure than the traits that you're attributing to them. Right? I would say.
But then I'm giving meaning to spiritually impure. Like, what does that even?
What does that even mean? I know.
Like, it's just.
It's not a thing.
Bigger, yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
yeah. He needs to understand this
because girls are and where this is really coming from is, well, ultimately they were made from the man's rib, so
right.
Like,
and she's
that's
the
what
one
we're going back to
that gave him the apple. She's the original source of the original sin, right? He gave.
Right. Yeah, he wouldn't have eaten it if it wasn't for
of
that.
Course not.
If it wasn't for the woman. Like
men have never been shown
documents.
to be right. Men have never been shown to be impulsive ever.
No, never. Everything would have been totally copacetic if they just didn't eat that. Oh my God. Yeah. So,
and
if you would like to date Provo, Utah, leave.
Yeah. And the best part of the story of Genesis is that I don't remember the exact words, but it was like, so Eve gave him the apple, he ate the apple.
Is this Phil Collins?
Phil Collins?
In Genesis.
No. Talking about the book in the Bible.
You're talking about the Book of Genesis. Book of Genesis. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
the 80s Genesis.
She gave him the Invisible Touch, great album by the way. She gave him the apple. He ate the apple, and then God came. This is all according to the story of Genesis in the Old Testament. And then God came and said,
"True, correct fact that happened just like this."
Right? Did you eat that apple? And he's like, "No." He's like, "I know you did. Why are you wearing clothes?" Because they started putting clothes on because they realized they were naked, so they need to cover. That was one of the things. I know you ate the apple, and the first thing the guy says is like, "Well, this woman that you sent me made me eat it." He literally said
that sounds about right.
It's like men blaming women for their problems since negative 3000 BC.
Garden of Eden. like literally in those first 7 days.
Yes.
Wow, that's
like in one sentence he blamed the woman and he blamed God. It's like, you gave me this woman and she made
remarkable.
Unbelievable. All right. Yeah. Anyway, by the way, that did not happen. The story is a story. It did not actually happen. So Jedediah. You need to change your perspective on women because they are not like these otherworldly creatures. They're human beings like you. They just have different parts, and you need to respect them like human beings.
And they are not spiritually impure, or they do not have little demons in them,
Correct.
or they are not like out to get you or trap you. They are fellow human beings,
with their own needs,
different gender or different sex, that have the same basic human needs
their
and
own wants and
desires
as
the rest of the world.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Maybe the first step is if you stop thinking them as others and some sort of thing that you have to figure out, and as
Right.
human beings,
The enemy. Right?
maybe you can start there.
Right, and have a healthy relationship with one. Yeah.
Right, but you can't have a healthy relationship in Provo, Utah. That is, that's just objectively true.
Yes. So what should you know? So let's get to the root of his question. What should I know if I've never had sex? Okay. So, oh Jesus, where to start? Consent, right? is one big thing. Don't touch a woman unless you're invited to do so. Foreplay. Don't underestimate it.
I mean, it's hard for me to even get to
Relate
there
to
because
this.
he's
I
jumping
know.
right to dating when we're starting at women are already at a
I know.
step below.
I know.
So we gotta I don't really want Jedediah out there dating until a
It's a
good
different perspective on women.
His perspective shifts a little bit. Or actually, maybe I do want Jedediah out going on some dates, and he can see what the lovely ladies of New England would be like if subjected to Jedediah from Provo, Utah.
Yes.
That could be
Entertaining.
entertaining. Actually,
Yeah.
we could watch them display their agency, and it would be
Yes.
delightful.
Yes. So, okay, so let me try to break it down. So here's what you do. So you've clearly expressed that you're, I believe what you're saying is you're physically attracted to women, which is fine. That means you're heterosexual, most likely. And so what you should do is meet women, go on dates, have dinner, learn about them, learn about what they like, what motivates them. They learn about you. You see if you connect with them in that way. Perhaps something eventually, after perhaps a few dates, starts to get physical. Again, consent, gentle with them. Make sure they're enjoying the experience as well as you're enjoying the experience. It's a shared experience. It's not for solely your benefit, right? Keep that in mind too, and then enjoy yourself.
And I do believe though that I think Jedediah here may not even necessarily know like the science behind sex and how it all works and all that.
Oh,
So I
the
think
logistics
a
of it.
healthy
I
like
see.
sexual education class, it isn't just about making a move. It's like actually knowing what to do and like what is
see.
happening.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think even
I'm
without
having a
that,
problem relating to the zero basis thing.
exactly. So it's hard to because if you're just like oh wait no you don't okay
Yeah.
well when you no you don't
You don't, right?
so it's
Like
yeah
I would almost recommend like doing a web search of porn for women and watching that because it's respectful, consenting, emotional sex. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
you can at least learn the physical aspects of what occurs. You know what I mean?
So number one, you need a VPN because you're in Provo, Utah.
you got to get
and
out of
you
Utah.
like to look at porn. Yeah.
Right.
So you get a VPN.
Yeah.
Do what Vanguard said. You
Porn
find
for
out
women.
what porn for women. A fan favorite of mine as well. Yeah, I think basically that education is really the key word for Jedediah for the next several time units, whether that be months, weeks, or years.
Yeah, learn that. Also, here's your other background material. So, porn for women about the sex act in itself. If you want to learn about people's interactions and how people meet and how they fall in love and how they date and all this other stuff, watch the Hallmark Channel. A long
Seriously?
weekend. You will see.
Well, isn't that how people want people to be? That's like the Hallmark Channel is what people want the world. It's like that.
But it's
like
not
everyone has. It's like where everyone lives in a $1.8 million home with giant presents and Christmas trees, and family comes over, and you're like, what jobs do these people have? They have an 8-bedroom house.
They all sell drugs.
Right. They're all like in marketing.
I was
or something.
kidding
Like,
about
no.
the Hallmark Channel. Everyone, and someone's screaming at me. No, I was
I don't know.
kidding about the Hallmark. Do not watch the Hallmark Channel.
I don't know. I
Do
think
not
I
watch
called
the
you out,
Hallmark
and I
Channel.
think you feel bad, and now
I
you're
was
backpedaling.
I was making a joke.
That's fine.
The very thing the
Vanguard loves
relationships,
the Hallmark Channel. That's
the
fine.
very thing relationships should not be.
Be proud of it.
Especially the Christmas specials. Those are the absolute worst. So bad.
You seem really familiar with the Hallmark Channel.
I have friends who are very into it. Frightening.
Friends?
It is
In
friends,
Canada?
definitely. Up in Canada, yes. Yeah,
That's what I
I
thought.
actually don't watch as much as you know. I don't watch a lot of TV, so definitely Hallmark Channel would not be on my list.
Right. I think we've helped Jedediah.
I
enough
think
at
so,
this point,
right?
given
So
everything.
yeah,
I think,
so treat women like human beings. Treat them with respect. Porn for women.
as I said, we're not experts, but really, some of this should be.
Yeah, this is
Basic
the
human
basis, right?
101.
And don't you got to change your mindset, like Green Pan said. You can't think of women as like they're this enemy trying to seduce me and manipulate me and all
Right.
this other stuff. It's like you gotta
They're-
shake that. They're people. They're regular people.
Succubus is not an actual thing.
Not a
Okay?
thing. No matter
Not
what
a thing.
Joseph Smith said, it's not a thing.
Yeah, not a thing.
And you got to think about like Green Panther, get out of Utah and leave your faith behind because you're in a cult. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's like,
Those are objectively the best things that you could do.
yes, join
I
us.
think-
Join us. The regular world and
Join
with
us in the rest of
healthy
society.
relationships is a wonderful thing.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's absolutely perfect out here, but it's not Provo, Utah. So, you know, your days are bound to get a little brighter.
Yeah.
And you'll discover a whole nother gender of people who you've never really probably interacted with before on a human basis, and
And learn
you'll be opened
something.
up to an entire new
There you go.
realm of humanity. It's
Whole
you
new
know,
world. Cue the
big
music.
things ahead, Jedediah.
That's right. Yeah, I'm
Alright.
trying to think of how when he says take advantage of virgins, how does a virgin get taken advantage of? Like, hey, I'll have sex with you, give me all your money, kind of take advantage, or like, hey, I'm gonna steal your virginity, kind of take advantage.
I think it's the that's from the conservative it's almost like from the succubus thing, like the girls, the sirens on the rock
On the
are
rock,
going to
right.
lure you and take your virginity and thus cause you to go into sin. So
I see.
he's talking. So what the parents are talking about is like non-Mormon girls, like girls who are just going to try to seduce you, and like they'll take advantage of the fact that you're innocent and that you don't know any better, and then they'll
I see.
right because
Porn for women. If you're doing that, you're not being manipulated. That's our thing.
Yeah.
Super J asking if that's what she should watch. Sure. I mean, Super J depends what you're into. Like, I mean, if you don't like porn, regular porn. I don't know. Do you watch regular porn? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear if you do. What kind of porn do you like? But yeah, porn for women is typically pretty tame, right? It's like just looks like a couple having regular intercourse and sex, right? Hot, steamy, excitement.
Is that really like that is funny. That is a
genre, yeah.
That is a genre
Yeah,
of thing. But again,
One of my
we're-
favorites,
we're-
actually.
We are not anywhere near there with Jedediah
Yes,
yet.
that's true.
Jedediah's got a lot of learning to do beforehand, some reading, some videos to watch, and a couple tests to take.
Yes.
And then we can get into examining porn.
All right. Let's get on to the next question, Jedi. Hopefully,
All right.
let us know how it goes. Let us know when you flee Utah. Oh, Super J says she likes massages that take a turn. Oh, that's fun too. The massage genre. Nice.
That takes a turn with the happy
With the
ending.
porn. Yeah.
Right.
The thing I don't like about those is I don't like ones that are excessively oily. I don't like when people are. I don't like them greased up.
I
don't-
never
that's the
really
part I don't
understood
like.
that either because yeah,
Well, they
I mean,
rub
well,
easier on each other. You know what I mean? It's just like
yeah. It's not supposed to be like oily, like
right. Like I like the massage concept, but I don't like when there's too much oil involved. That's my thing. Let's see. So Edgar, Germantown, Maryland, says, "I'm 20 and I've never had a crush on anyone. I have zero urge to pursue
this is
anyone.
like the opposite thing.
I've had zero urge to pursue anyone because I just haven't found anyone attractive. I get made fun of by my friends a lot for being a virgin, but I'm just not attracted to anyone. I know this seems shallow, and I don't mean to offend anyone personally. This is that I don't find anyone attractive. What's wrong with me, Edgar? Nothing's wrong with you, Edgar.
Oh, yeah, nothing's wrong with you, Edgar.
Right. Edgar's just asexual, right?
Honestly, you've probably been hanging around really ugly people your whole life, and I can't say I'm. Well, I mean, Edgar, listen, you live in Baltimore, okay? Right near Baltimore. It is objectively the ugliest city in the northern hemisphere.
Stop it.
So I've seen The Wire. I would understand.
Stop it. That is not
but,
true.
But no.
Stop people in Baltimore.
I will not say. I mean, no, Baltimore's terrible. That's true. But yes, I think Edgar might be asexual, which just means
Which is
not
okay.
interested at all, which is fine.
Fine.
I mean, like I've actually thought about that. Like, there is absolutely no shame in being able to walk around a Super Bowl party without an engorged penis after every commercial. Like, I'm sure asexual people get a lot more shit done.
Right.
Like,
Less
because
distracted
of so
thoughts.
much time that is wasted reviewing what porn women like,
Yes.
and all of the
It's very time
that
consuming.
time cultivating those genres and all that information
Very time consuming.
can be spent elsewhere for Edgar.
Very
So
time
I think he's fine.
I would ask Edgar if Edgar masturbates. That would be a very interesting data point.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you masturbate, what do you masturbate to? What images do you?
Right.
topic. So Edgar,
Or
I
as
would.
if you're, yeah, that's true Edgar doesn't say doesn't experience. He just says he doesn't find anyone attractive,
This is
which
about sexual
means
urges.
yeah, that's how it sounds at least. Otherwise you'd probably be like, I don't have any sexual urges. So then it would be more clear. This, yeah,
Right.
obviously asexual.
Yeah, if you don't find anyone attractive and you don't feel the urge to masturbate and bring yourself sexual pleasure, then you're most likely definitely asexual, right?
And
Okay.
that's fine.
Right, totally fine. If you do
Yep,
masturbate,
that's who you are.
Right.
Great.
but if you do masturbate and enjoy sexual pleasure, I would then ask yourself, what is it that's arousing you? You know what I mean? And
Right.
is that your thing and you just haven't found that in a human yet, right? Which is possible. Or is it just like
Which is why I highly recommend the book that I read at 16, The Encyclopedia of Bizarre and Unusual Sex Practices. That book was available at Barnes & Noble when I was 16. Read the whole thing, and even learned that there's people who have a fetish of being thrown, having a pie thrown in their face. Like, nothing really turns them on like being hit with a cream pie. That's a thing. Great, good for them.
Yep.
But
high heels
and
to
there
the
might be-
balls? That's a whole fetish. High heels to the balls. You've heard of that one. There's a name for
there's
that.
a
I think.
lot of things. Yeah, it's painful, horrible. Ow, what the fuck? Like torture. There's a name for that. Yeah, there is. It's called having your balls stomped on by a high heel. But yes, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Literally everything is a thing. I think.
I think so too. This is one of the rules of the internet. Everything's a thing. If you think something's a thing,
So-
it is.
Like explore a little bit, Edgar.
Yeah.
Like if you're not finding anything attractive, maybe just browse through stuff and see if you do find anything attractive, and then, as Vanguard said, make a note of what that is, and
Right.
then proceed.
Because the thing that I was kind of getting at there is it might be a representation of a hang up about social interactions or intimate reactions in a certain way. Intimate interactions in a certain way. You know what I mean? You're like, well,
Right.
I don't want to get this close to this person because we might wind up, they're going to see me naked. I'm insecure. Or I'm going to see them and I don't know what that looks like. And I'm scared. You know what I mean? Could be like,
Right,
are there
right.
fears behind it instead of just not attraction? So that's
Right.
kind of why
And
I
it all wraps up into like, I don't even like people, even though it's really,
and it's just like a shutdown. You might
confluence
just
of
have a
things.
shutdown. Right.
yeah, it's
Right.
it's more of like, I'm not interested in that. I don't like them. They're not attractive anyway.
Right. So that's
Yeah,
why I would
but-
again recommend that if you are masturbating, think about what that's doing for you and what you're being aroused by. And if you're not, like Green Panther saying, like, look, if nothing does anything, then
Does
that's
anything,
kind of your answer
then-
too, right?
Okay.
But yeah, if you are asexual at the end of all those answers, that's completely fine. There are asexual people in the world. It's not a problem, right? You need to realize that finding a life partner may be more challenging, I think, unless you find another asexual person.
Right.
You know,
And if
what I
that's
mean?
what you want, or maybe that is not something that you want, but
If you don't want a life partner, right, exactly.
right.
If you want to have kids, you need to
Yes.
acknowledge that involves sex.
Right. And so my assumption would be that someone who is not attracted to other people probably wouldn't be in a situation where they're being asked to have kids. Yeah. So, but again, first stop Pornhub, and then check in after. I would like to give notes. So
Okay.
please send your feedback after, Edgar, because I think there's a whole world that you're going to explore and you're going to learn
I'm
outside of
worried.
Baltimore.
I'm
Close
worried.
your drapes. Baltimore's the.
I'm worried.
I know you're in Germantown, but Baltimore's nearby, and that's just not cool.
I'm worried jumping right into Pornhub's gonna be a little traumatic for Edgar. I don't know if I'd recommend that.
I thought Pornhub is like I think of Pornhub as like the tame porn. That's all that's not dark web. That's
No,
like the light web.
Not,
you know.
but I'd start with start with
Maybe
like
not your
the Victoria's Secret catalog or something. I don't know, something like that. Or
Oh,
some
okay.
kind of.
Start with the Sears and Roebuck
Sears and
catalog
Roebuck.
from 1956, and
Go
see
from there.
if some overalls turn you on, and you can go from there.
Yeah, I wouldn't overdo it, Edgar, but I would start to evaluate, is there anything that you do find attractive? Don't just equate it to like the people in your life, but like, a very attractive man, a very attractive woman, do those do anything for you? Think about that. And again, the
Are
masturbation
there
question.
things that, when they happen, all of a sudden your penis gets really hard,
Right.
and you're like,
That's a
whoa,
clue. Right. What happened? Right.
what happened just then?
Right.
Before that.
Think about that thing.
What did you spy with your little eye right before you had a very engorged dick?
Right.
That will tell you what you're attracted to.
Right. And a
Like,
clue.
I feel like I'm knocking these out of the park today.
You really are. This is great. And another clue is if you wake up with a boner, you probably dreamed of something that aroused you. You know what I mean? Even if you can't remember what it is, it's
Although that's
clue.
not necessary, because there are sometimes either there are just you can get random boners for not a.
Is that right?
I believe so, as a reflex or something. Like I've heard
A
like when
reflex
sleeping
to
it doesn't
what?
necessarily mean that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But a reflex to what? You know, I mean, there's some stimulus.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm suppositioning too much, but
Well, like the stimulus is like when you start like rubbing up against a couch.
yes.
You know how like when you start doing that, when you
You get a
start
boner.
rubbing a couch,
Right.
yeah, you get a boner. That
Oh,
doesn't
so
mean
you're
I'm
saying
attracted
maybe
to
you
the
rolled
couch.
in your sleep and rubbed the right way that it just got stimulated a little bit. I'll believe that.
Exactly.
I'll buy that.
Exactly. Like your body was like, huh?
Rubbing,
Huh?
rubbing, rubbing. We like rubbing,
Aw.
rubbing, rubbing. Oh, no,
Yeah,
rubbing.
right. Because it's still there's something there, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Edgar, hope that helps. Good luck. This journey of self-discovery, we were with you all the way. All right, here we go.
Absolutely.
Question 3. Curtis from Hartville, Missouri says, my girlfriend is leaving on a business trip for 8 days, and I want to use that time to really improve. I have felt stuck for a long time. Plus, I'm 50 pounds overweight, and I know things will get worse if I don't make dramatic lifestyle changes now. I know all the basics. Meditation, working out, yoga, ice baths, intermittent fasting, therapy. But is there one specific thing I could do to make serious improvements to my relationship with myself in the next 8 days? You're not going to lose 50 pounds in 8 days. Let's get that right out there. Curtis.
Right.
Like, hey, great pants.
yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I got okay. Like wow, Curtis. Yeah. It's like, are you looking for like a Queer Eye for the Straight Guy like makeover type
Yeah.
of like flash makeover thing? Like,
But like
if
lifestyle, not
there's-
just clothing, you know?
If there is one thing that you can do in the next 8 days, is learn that no meaningful change is ever going to happen in 8 days unless it involves firearms. Okay, so
Jesus.
when you say that you know the basics, I mean, did you say ice baths and intermittent fasting? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't
Like, what
even
does that
know
even
what
mean?
that even means.
It sounds like those are like buzzwords that you may have heard of.
Right. Yeah.
Improving yourself with ice baths. I got like that wouldn't be my first go-to. But I guess yeah, I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to try to solve your issues in 8 days, and
Yes.
that's something that's just not possible, and it's unrealistic. And I
Yes.
think if you go in with that assumption, you're going to be disappointed at the outcome,
Yes.
because no matter what, you're looking for a massive something to change without firearms in the next 8 days.
Yes.
And that's probably not going to materialize, at least to the degree to which you
Correct.
hoping.
But you could make you could set a decisive course of action over the.
Yeah.
And
You could like you could commit to a plan that you
Right.
put together that involves, let's say, exercising and losing weight, whatever, and then when your girlfriend comes back, you could even present that to her to be like, hey, while you were gone, I was thinking about all this stuff, and yeah, it'll probably she'd be interested, because she probably has an invested interest in wanting you to take care of yourself.
Right.
And probably will help you out, and kind of either help you do it, hold you accountable, whatever. So make
Absolutely.
a plan and then go with that. But yeah, there isn't any sort of like eat this gummy vitamin and you're good to go. Now you're now you're Don Draper.
and
No.
the first key is like you got to think about your current routine, right? And figure out how you break some habits. You know what I mean? You're probably just in a rut. You just find yourself in the same spots every day. And at the end of the day, you look and you're like, all these things that you're frustrated about, right? You got to think about that, how to disrupt it, add new elements to your routine, come up with a new routine plan. Super J saying the same thing. Figure out a new routine that's more healthy and character building and improving of yourself. And come up with that plan.
And it has to be realistic.
Right.
It has to be something
Don't
that you
set
can
an
commit to
unachievable goal.
doing, and that so you have to like make an agreement with yourself that like, okay, I'm going to do this. And if you give yourself an insurmountable goal or make it unrealistic, that like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in the first week, like, no, you're not. So you're going to be disappointed no matter what. I mean, I guess if you just ate nothing, but then that would not be. Like,
I don't even think so. I don't know if it's
yeah,
possible to lose 50 pounds in 8 days. You eat nothing.
Yeah. I guess depending on how much you start with, I guess, or whatever.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, losing 50 pounds is going to be a journey that is going to take longer than a week and a day.
Yeah.
So plan for that journey,
Right.
and that could be a great way to utilize the first 8 days, and then the rest of the time can be spent, actually going on it.
For sure. And I'm a huge advocate of exercise, right? Because I think like having an exercise routine into your your day will help you both body and mind. You know what I mean? Helps you focus. It helps you feel stronger. In your case, if you want to lose some weight, it's a great way to do that. You know, so maybe in the next 8 days you can come out with a workout plan. There's tons of research you can do on the web. Some involves strength training and some cardio. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be crazy. Something
That's all you need.
reasonable.
You don't need to
30
bulk
minutes.
up. You don't want to be swole.
No.
Yeah.
No need.
You don't want to be like jailhouse hard. Just actually, just having some, getting your core to have strength to it, and cardiovascular health, probably the most important of all.
Cardio and core strength, definitely.
That's where it's all built from there.
Yep.
So when you see these guys walking down the street with like huge arms and they've got these tiny little legs, like, yeah, that's not good.
Not
And
good.
they would lose a fight so quickly because they would just fall down.
If you're fighting a guy like that, go for the knee. He'll drop like a sack of potatoes.
Right, exactly. Just do a quick slide kick into his knee. Just sweep the leg.
Right down.
Sweep the leg. Boom. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
I have
Yeah.
experience.
That's right. So the other thing I'd recommend is I'm looking at your last statement here that you made, Curtis, about your relationship with yourself, and that's I don't remember the saying actually. It's about it's about like knowing and accepting yourself, who you are, or something like that. I don't remember the exact saying. The idea is to like think about you and your life choices and the stuff that's brought you to where you're at and what matters to you in life, and come to grips with all that stuff. Like, is this who I want to be? Is this who I am? Are my decisions from a genuine place? Do I do bad things? Why do I do bad things? You know, and accept it all as truth, because it's people who can't accept the truth about themselves that are people who are often unhappy. You know, so I would recommend that. Confront yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And just recognize.
I mean,
recognize.
And it's good that you're doing that here. Like you obviously are recognizing it.
Yes.
But
First step.
the point now is not to kind of just wallow in that, to be like, oh my God, there's all these things that are wrong. It's to say, okay, I've noticed this, and this is what I want to change, and I'm going to do it in these ways during X length of time. And if you set that as a goal, I think that's one way to definitely get out of a rut, because just by doing that, by incorporating that one extra thing into your day, it will by definition change your routine.
100%.
So it'll swap stuff up.
100%. So you take these next 8 days, come up with a plan, a new routine, involve exercise, involve some, and over the next 8 days too, like I said, get some self introspection going on there. Kind of figure out your priorities.
Just, and then as soon as you can, get as far away from Baltimore as you can. That's
he's not Baltimore. This is Missouri. He's in Missouri. Curtis in.
Oh my God! Definitely get out of Missouri. Oh my God! Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, gross. Oh God, gross. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, Missouri.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Journey.
But I would definitely like if you
left and right suck.
There you go. But you live with your girlfriend, so I would like when you come up with it, share with her what you kind of decide is like your plan. You know what I mean? When she gets home, that'd be nice. Help you make it more real, and like involve her in the process.
Yeah.
Human bonding.
And there's much more of a chance of it actually happening if you involve someone else in the process, so that you can't
accountable.
just be like, blow it off, because when it's only in your head, it's real easy to just not be anymore. So
one of the great things about partners in our life is that they can help us spur us on to want to be better, vice versa, kind of feed it.
Yeah, they're there to tell us when we have something in our teeth.
Yes.
When things don't match. When we still have that toothpaste,
and all our clothes are wrong, and then we need to throw them away and buy new clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that our that we have no sense of style, or that we don't have taste,
or that you think you're so funny.
Right.
You think you're so funny. I am funny.
This is going dark. I don't know.
I'm going to that place. All right, so Curtis, good luck. Let us know how it goes.
Yes.
Let's get to our next question.
I definitely want feedback after that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, the next one comes from Abby from Greenville, South Carolina. Abby asks, my friend has been obsessed with animals. Her lifelong dream is to work with animals. A few months back, my friend mentioned changing her college major to zoology. I suggested that she shouldn't because she's doing great in her current major and zoology pays squat. Then a couple of weeks ago, I found out she went ahead and changed her major anyway. I told her it was the dumb move and she was living a child's dream. We got into a huge fight and she told me that I should just support her and that I was brainwashed by society to just care about money. Should I have just supported her?
Yes! Oh my God, yes.
Thank you.
You should have just supported her. What the hell, Abby? Oh my
Jesus.
God. She's been your friend for years. Her lifelong dream is to work with animals, and she told you you're changing her she's changing her major to zoology, which is right in line with her lifelong
Working with
dream.
animals.
And your immediate reaction is to say it's a children's dream and that she's wasting it. Like, what did you expect? Like, I am sure your friend has shitty parents who can opine on the financial benefits of her
Yes.
major. Like,
Yes.
I'm sure she'll be getting that feedback from
Right.
another angle.
Doesn't need it from you.
From you, her friend.
Right.
You should support her. Maybe say something like, great, or hey, that's awesome, that's what you've always wanted to do. You know, things like that. The fact that you're writing in asking is troubling.
Yeah, come on, Abby. Let her do her thing.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you want to, you can
Come
give
on.
your advice for sure. But once she makes the decision, you made the decision.
Right.
Support her. Right? That's kind of how it goes.
Right. And it's
She
not
may
like
not
she's
make
making some decision to do crack or something. She's changing her major to there are careers in wildlife and conservation and zoology and all that. It's not to be like it pays squat.
Right. I mean,
Doing what exactly?
Right,
Like,
but if she's really
I-
worried
you
about the
know?
money, she could be like a veterinarian, which actually pays pretty good. I mean, like that's
Right. I mean, relatively compared to
zoology.
lion tamer or whatever. But yeah, I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should have just supported her. That's
Yes. Yes. This is easy.
I think
one.
you really
Softball.
you should probably call her now and apologize for being such a dick.
Thinking that.
Yeah, because this
Crushing
is one
her
of those.
dreams.
Am I the asshole? Yes. That's am I the asshole? You are the
Am
asshole,
I
Abby.
the
You got
asshole?
it. Fucking nailed it.
It's a whole subject
Like-
group on Reddit and Quora and all those other sites, right? Am I the asshole?
Right. Right. And in this case,
Yes.
yes. Is that? Yeah. You
It's
should
okay,
have.
Abby.
You should have supported her.
There's hope. Just call her up, support your friend, and say, hey, thing. Make it up for her.
Hopefully, you have other friends. But yeah, I would say next time maybe a little less critical on their
It's her choice. If she
educational choices.
if money's not important to her, then money's not important to her. That's fine, as long as she understands, right? If she's like, yeah, she goes into zoology, and then she's pissed off 10 years from now because she doesn't have a lot of money, you should know this is the path you chose.
But that
right?
not even a necessary thing. It's like studying zoology. It's also what do you intend to pursue after that? Getting a bachelor's in zoology can actually move on to getting a
Lead to
master's.
other
That's
things.
how you become like a wildlife expert.
Yeah,
and
that's true, that's true.
the Department of the Interior hires people like
right, because it only
all
takes
that
like
sort of
the
stuff.
right internship or something, and all of a sudden she finds the path she loves and then goes down that. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
And it's it's in the field that she enjoys. So
Absolutely.
Abby, support your friend, please. Please.
Yeah.
Support her. All right. Softball. All right, let's go on to our
That was-
last question.
That was really easy.
I have an older sister who demands that I do every task for her. It doesn't matter if it's difficult or easy, she wants me to do it. I feel like I should help her since she's older, and I need to be respectful of elder siblings. I'm absolutely the black sheep of the family. Even when I do what she asks, she's never thanked me, which always makes me feel totally worthless. How can I set boundaries between us? Asks Felicia from Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
Felicia.
The part of the email that really stands out the most is that she needs to be respectful of elder siblings.
Yes.
Since fucking when? Like, why? Like, who the fuck made up that rule? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like your sister is kind of like a narcissist and a bully. And she's probably using that philosophy that somehow links
Makes her
age
better.
and wisdom to worthiness of respect. Yeah, fuck that. Respecting old people for doing the same things over and over and constantly failing is how we ended up in the mess we are in the first place. So yeah, pass. So if your sister is named Felicia, I could do a bye Felicia, but I can't, so that's ruined.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you need to start telling her no, right, and not be controlled by her. She's doing it for a power trip, right?
Right.
Wants to control you,
And you're accepting it because right there you actually saying like, well, I should be doing this. Like, no, you are not under any obligation to be doing anything for your sister simply because she came out of your mom's birth canal earlier than you did.
Yes.
Like that's like
Yes.
no. So
Speak up for yourself.
I think you can start there. And yeah, because you are worthy of respect.
Correct.
And so,
Correct.
please, you have agency, and tell your sister to knock it off, or just put a fish in her pillow, something.
Fish in her pillow.
Oh man,
That gets a message
Go-
across.
yeah, no, you
Yeah.
go to the local, get like a big like salmon or like
Big,
like
with the
full
head
with
and
the
the
tail and
tail,
everything.
everything.
You take out their pillow, you put that in the
Boom.
pillowcase,
Boom.
and you just let it seep into the bed. You got to be there for a good like 12 hours or so, and then the smell starts coming
you
up.
let it sit out in the
But-
sun for a while first, though, to really
But
get
what
that
the greatest part
right.
is, what you have to remember is, in the very beginning, you buy 2 fish, and the first fish goes in the pillow, but the second fish, you cut a very small seam and you slide it into the mattress, so it becomes part of the mattress, and she never
Oh.
knows that other fish is there.
thinks
So
the
forever,
smell is from
that
the
mattress
pillow
smells
one.
like fish, and then you end up having to get a new mattress.
Right,
So
right. If she even
um,
realizes, yeah,
yeah,
that's man, you're vindictive. That's
that,
Uh,
it's, listen. All I'm saying is that
remind
maybe
me not to wrong you.
he should not have parked there. That's all I'm saying.
Perhaps mistakes were made. Yes. So
Perhaps,
yeah, so Felicia, stand up for yourself. Say no to her. Don't do her stuff for her. She's a grown. I don't know how old you both are, but she's clearly old enough to try to boss you around. So tell her no,
Right.
and that's it. She'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, and also like you don't let anyone make you feel worthless.
No
like
one.
that's like no one, especially your family,
Including
'cause,
your,
like that's
especially your family.
yeah, like
say that.
that's because the fact that she's making you feel that way, like that's a form of trauma that is
Right.
literally happening to you, where you are feeling less than, and you have no self-worth because you believe that your family doesn't think you have worth,
Right.
and so that is a problem.
And you're literally calling yourself the black sheep, and that's coming from this.
right.
You're,
Right.
you're not.
Right.
It's like
You're kind of outing yourself as already as like, oh yeah, I'm the wrong
fuck up. Right.
Yeah.
Stop.
And this could have to do with maybe your family has a bunch of traditions and stuff that they do that you're not into, so you're the black sheep. Like what they call tradition, I call bullshit. Like it's just doing the same thing over and over, and you're like, hey, it's tradition.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no, that's not having to do it because we've always done it is like the dumbest argument I've ever heard. And I hear it a lot. Because when someone has a certain, why do we do that? I don't know, because we do it.
This is what we do.
Yeah, like what? I don't. Is there any other part of your life that you're like that?
Yep.
That's just what I do. Like,
It happens on the that's what they do on the whatchamacallit, a couple times when I'm like, I shook my head at like the Mandalorian, right? Like oh yeah, we gotta throw this guy in the lava. Why? This is the way. And I'm like, why?
right, exactly. I must wear my helmet at all times.
This is the
Why?
way.
Like, and then they make one reference to like, okay, but they always eat privately because it's like, how does he eat? Oh yeah, they eat it.
Privately.
No,
right?
really, how does that work?
Right.
Like, no, seriously,
No
how is
mess
he
hall,
treated?
there's no mess halls or cafeterias in the Mandalorian society. It's like I
Right.
can't even imagine
Exactly.
how that works, right?
And once you and facial ID, got to take the helmet off, and you might find yourself in an Imperial base dressed as a stormtrooper, not sure what to do because you don't want to take your helmet off.
Right.
So,
I don't know how we got there.
So,
How did we get there? I don't know.
Felicia,
Anyway, Felicia,
um,
stand up for yourself. Say no.
yeah, stand up for yourself. Be your own stormtrooper.
Be your own stormtrooper.
Don't make anyone make you wear a helmet.
Make
You
your
know,
own
If you want to take
way.
off that helmet, take it out.
off the
Exactly.
helmet.
Make your own way.
Be like the Bo-Katan Mandalorians, not the
Who just
Whatever
sort
it
of
culty
laughs
or
at the
culty
armor.
Right.
Well, the one that, the people who follow the ancient traditions of Mandalore.
That's right.
And
That's right. They hit it
the
off though.
armor.
Bo-Katan and the armorer, they hit it off by the end.
Eventually,
They were
right.
tight. They were tight.
Well, that's only because she jumped into the water and actually went down and got
The
like
child,
like
yeah.
Bo-Katan was the only one that actually did the thing.
Oh,
So if
badass.
she didn't come back up and wasn't like respected, it'd be like, guys, then okay, weren't you serious about this whole thing? Look what I just did. So, Oh, Felicia,
Be like Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, be like Bo-Katan. So as we all know, when Bo-Katan is, do we not all
Wait.
know? Maybe I don't know. Is that not? Yeah,
I don't know.
it's probably-
Pretend we all know Bo-Katan.
Okay. If okay, so Bo-Katan and the armorer didn't really have an equal relationship, at first
Right.
either. And the armorer felt that Bo-Katan was less than because she was not
Correct.
following the traditions of Mandalore, and she had given up on their traditions, and so she was sort of seen as like an apostate.
A black sheep,
and then
perhaps.
Bo-Katan comes in, a black sheep, exactly. And then then she comes up and says to the armor, "Fuck you, no," and they have a whole thing, and now they're friends. And so be like that.
The end. I mean,
I think that's how it went in the script.
I think that summed it up pretty well, yeah. Okay, great.
So there was
Alicia, good luck. Good luck to you. We're
Yeah.
pulling for you.
absolutely
All right, so I think that's our
right.
last. Oh, dude,
Oh.
speedrun.
It's up for speed round, and that is you today.
Oh, shite. All right, I
Yeah.
need to prepare myself. A timer up.
60 minutes on the timer.
60 seconds.
I always say 60 minutes. Yeah, 60 seconds on the timer. Yeah, the way this works
Thinking,
is
Ed.
there'll be 5 questions,
questions.
and I'm going to ask Vanguard 5 questions,
Rapid
and
fire.
rapid fire, and he is going to answer them within 60 seconds. With kind of like the first answer pops into his head, and then afterwards we shall unpack
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. All
and
right.
process what Vanguard has told us. So you let me know when I can start talking.
I am prepared,
asking.
and I will start the timer when you finish reading the first question, a la Family Feud style.
Excellent.
Proceed.
What is name one song you have completely memorized the lyrics to?
Oh God, only one. I have so many songs in my head. We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel.
Are clowns objectively scary or funny?
Funny.
If you could have been born in a different century, which one would it be?
24th.
Oh, a feature. What emoji annoys you the most?
Oh, the pray hands.
That is correct. What is a culinary dish that you've tried to make but failed at?
I don't
Or
cook.
are you just fucking perfect?
I don't cook. You know this. I don't.
Oh,
No,
you know,
none
there's
none of the above.
so all dishes. Okay.
Everything
I'll
I
accept that.
everything I make adequately, and I make nothing beyond that.
I will accept
I
that.
will leave it at that. And there we go. So yeah, we fit that in pretty well. So that was nice. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Joey, who is this? Joey is Joe, new follower. Thank you for following. You got me
Welcome.
during the middle of the speed round, so I'm sorry I didn't get to thank you then, but
Yeah.
I appreciate your following us, and I hope that you program.
What so songs that you have memorized?
Dude, you know how many songs I
I
have in my
assume-
head? I have like
Okay, Baby Got Back.
done.
That would be the
Right.
Rapper's Delight.
I actually
Um,
do not know. I know you do. I do not know No Rapper's Delight.
Okay. Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, done. Easy.
Yeah. So
But I
yeah,
did go through.
several-
I was good. I went through a huge like high school, college. A couple years after college, I went through a huge Billy Joel phase, and
Oh, yeah.
I probably
Yep.
know almost
I was
every.
there.
Right. I probably know almost every at least top 10 hit or top hit he ever had, word for word. So probably. So
I
and we
didn't-
didn't start the fires like a lot of words, so that's why I listed that one because it's
Right.
a lot of lyrics.
Well, Rapper's Delight's like 6 pages. So
I know. I don't know that one. That's all you. That's the
I
one
am
you
Wonder
do.
Mike, and I like to say hello. The black
Yes.
to the brown, the red and the white,
Yes.
the purple and yellow.
Great.
But first, I got a bang bang, a boogie to the boogity, up jump the
Boogity
boogity,
boogie,
beat,
up
beat,
jump the
it's so
boogie.
unique. Yep.
And then of course,
Sorry.
Baby Got Back. Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie.
Yep.
You what the butts can't deny when a girl walks in your face and around the interface you get sprung, can't let like it but stuff. Deep the jeans wearing I can't
No, no.
understand. Oh
What?
baby,
No.
I gotta
Want
know
to
what
pull
you-
up? Yep.
Want to pull up
it's,
tough. I said
uh,
want to pull up tough.
And a round thing in your face, you get
It's
sprung.
Yes.
Want to pull up tough
Yes,
because you notice
notice
her
that butt was stuffed.
was stuffed.
That butt was stuffed.
Uh,
Deep in the jeans she's
deep in the
wearing. I'm
jeans
hoping I
she's
can't stop
wearing.
staring.
Stop staring.
Oh,
Oh,
baby,
baby,
I
I want to get with ya and take your picture.
My homeboys tried
My
to
homeboys
warn
tried
me,
to warn me.
but that butt you got me,
and-
me
but-
so horny.
Oh, but
Ooh,
oh, that
rumpa,
but
smooth
that butt
skin.
makes me so horny.
Right.
Oh,
Ooh,
we can have
rumpa,
smooth skin. Want to use me?
Forget my bands.
Yeah,
They'll use me.
I've seen them
use me, 'cause
dancing.
they don't
The hell
get
too
that
romancing.
She sweat.
She's sweat.
Wet.
Jet, going like a
Oh,
turbo
jump
jet.
Like tired of
I'm
magazines.
tired of magazines.
Saying
Say
flap
flap
outs
outs
all
all the thing. Take that average black man.
Okay,
That's
that's when
Kim.
what? She had a pack lunch
Baby
back.
got
So
back.
fellas, yeah. Has a
Fellas,
girlfriend
yeah.
got the butt? Hell yes. Tell her to
Hell
shake
yeah.
it. Shake it.
Shake it.
Shake that
Shake
healthy
that.
butt. Baby,
Baby
got
got
back.
back.
Then several rounds
I
of
can never run for
LA.
office.
Several rounds of LA face with an Oakland booty.
no, neither of us can run for office at this point, which is nice.
You can't
so it's
sing.
kinda good to
You
know.
can't like the Baby Got Back. Is Baby Got
I don't
Back been
think- I don't-
canceled?
I think knowing all of the words makes us. I mean, to me, I think it makes us, just obviously more
Aficionados.
Yeah, I mean, like using the mental space to keep all of that like pop culture like readily
In
available in
there.
RAM.
What do I do? Oh,
You know,
maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. So your girlfriend rolls a Honda. Play a workout
Yeah.
taste by Fonda. But Fonda ain't got a motor in the
All right.
back of her Honda.
So-
All right, sorry.
So are clowns objectively funny or scary?
Funny.
You said
Clowns are not
funny.
scary.
That is no.
Clowns are not scary.
That is incorrect.
Clowns are goofily funny.
It's the reason that clowns are scary.
Go ahead.
Like, have you never had coulrophobia?
No.
Um,
There's no clown that's ever scared me. Even in It.
No,
When I
okay.
first saw It.
Okay.
I didn't even find that scary.
So the coulrophobia is the fear of clowns, and the
Mhm.
reason that children and stuff finds clowns scary psychologically is because you are not able to read correctly the emotion on their face, and
I'm sure,
that is
yeah.
very frightening
Right.
to kids because they
I-
don't know what's
Right.
going to happen.
I had a friend
And
who
so-
who had that.
It generates a lot of apprehension.
Yeah, I had a good friend from high school who had that, and because it was also applied to the he was terrified of he called them stuffed people, but it was basically like mascots that wear the outfits because you don't know.
Oh yeah,
It's just a fixed
Right.
face, right? So
sure.
it would horrify him. He's like, I don't like stuffed people, and I'm like, what?
But yeah, no, I mean, because I definitely get that with like when I see a clown, I'm like, I think of it as odd, like it's unpleasant to look at. Like I when I look at a clown, I'm like, I want to look away because there's something wrong, and it wasn't until it was like, oh yeah, because they have no because I can't figure like the whole happy. It skeeves me out. I don't know why. So
There
that
you
is the
go.
answer. The answer is scary. You said funny.
I said funny.
The answer is scary.
Clowns are funny.
So okay.
So, but like,
Born in a
okay,
different century.
no.
Okay,
Go
go
back to
ahead.
the
Okay.
clowns one more time. So the like any variant. So
Yeah,
you
this is a
have
serious topic.
you have your traditional. So you have like a Ronald McDonald type of clown configuration. You have your traditional like from It kind of clown, right, with the scary with the teeth
Right.
and
That's
everything.
still
You have your
it's not the same.
You have your Harlequin clown, right, and then you have your Joker type of makeup clown. Are they all of this?
yeah, I think of that as like
scary
a
category?
I don't think I'm thinking of painted face clown, not like a court jester or like a harlequin, like something
Okay.
kid that because it really is about it's about being able to tell if they're happy or sad, and because they can so change like on a dime with the thing, it can be like really off-putting.
Got it.
And so that is why clowns are scary, and
I think they're
they
funny,
are not funny.
and they are outstanding members of society, and I love what they do.
Wow.
I'm gonna send one. I'm gonna send one to your house now.
Who do you know that's a clown that you're like?
I
Why
don't,
are you?
I don't know a clown. I don't know any
Why are you
clowns.
backing Big Clown? Are you like are you
like
a
big
shill
pharma?
for Big
It's
Circus?
big clown.
I think it's part of Big Circus, which is your
Well, there's
You know,
there's
that's-
Cirque du Soleil clowns too. I
yeah. Cirque du Soleil is different. Cirque du Soleil is just shouldn't even be called circus. It's just its own thing. It doesn't. It's like
it's
I mean, it is. I mean, it actually is using the word circus correctly, but yeah, to call it like a Ringling Brothers, it's not. There's no like
Different.
Cirque du Soleil. And some of the shows are better than others, but
Agreed.
it is definitely a very different experience than going to a traditional circus.
fair. I liked O. Actually, I think it's one of my favorite.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yes, it was on residency in Vegas, I think.
Yeah,
right?
that's where I saw it. That's where I saw it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very well done.
So
anyway,
um,
where are we next?
okay,
Century. Yeah,
when it-
24th, dude. I want to see where we wind up. Like,
you would literally wake up.
yes.
It would be a nuclear wasteland, and you would die instantly. Why would you want to live there? Like, do you think there's gonna be a 24th century? What's wrong with
Yes.
you? No, I'm not the future. I don't trust that next year everyone's gonna be here. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Like, who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
But like 24th century, you're gonna let 300 years go by and just what happens if it's a world of silo? I mean, you go out there, you're like, "Ah," like no, like that is super risky. Like
Yep.
if you could be, yes, it's very different. If I could be guaranteed that society still existed, then I could say the future.
Yeah, it could. The question is,
Yeah, if you could have been
if
born
I'm
in a
born,
different century.
the fact that I was born means there were parents that were alive. We made it,
Right.
right?
Okay, that just means that humanity made it, but it doesn't mean that it's great. I mean,
Sure.
it could just be Walking Dead out there.
Could
Like
be.
it's, you know, and that's what you're waiting. So for me, I am risk averse. So
Yes.
jumping to the 24th century,
Much
and
unknown.
not knowing if it, yes, is too much known. I would say 2nd century Rome would be.
I do not think you would last long there, but go ahead.
No, no. This is why the 2nd century Rome
Yes.
is when there were like that was the period where they had like the 5 good emperors,
Sure.
and basically this is assuming like if you had gold, like if you lived in
In Rome or a big city.
living in Rome in the 2nd century, they had plumbing.
Mhm.
They had like running water, very low rate of disease.
Sure.
There was no fighting kind of going on at that particular time
Right.
for that thing. And so I don't think like if you were going to live in the classical world, I don't think you could be more comfortable than being like a Roman, like obviously someone who's like of means, because that would be anywhere really.
Citizen of Rome.
But
Right.
but I think yes, yeah, as opposed to like 17th century Scotland or something where
Right. Horrible.
you're gonna get the plague or whatnot.
Black Death, yes.
I mean-
Yeah. I don't know. I think that too many. I had this thought experiment I was talking with a friend about. It's like if you could go back in time, and this is similar to what you're saying. If you can go back in time and knowing everything you know now, and go back to like, they wake up and it's like first day of 6th grade or something, but knowing everything you know now, would you want to do that? And at first I was like, hell yeah, because I would be like
No.
an unstoppable force of destruction. I would like I'd learn all these things. I would help change the world. I would whatever, right? But I think about it and I'm like, I think I would get so frustrated with the lack of technology. The like people that
I
like
think you'd
the
be also
shit.
frustrated with people's lack of knowing things, or just
Exactly.
the stuff that you knew
Exactly.
naturally that you're like, no, just trust me, it works that way.
I would
It
think
would drive you insane.
I would think everyone around me being an idiot. Like literally, because there's things. There's
also-
things, so many things that people don't know. And it'd be probably frustrating.
Bear
as
in
hell.
mind, you'd also be being born into a 6th grader's body,
Right.
so you would not have like the stress. You'd be a kid, and then you'd be subject to
Puberty.
So no matter
Yeah.
how smart you were, then you would objectively know more than every single
Yes.
adult, and yet
In the world, probably,
for
right? Or
years
close to
you would
it.
just be dismissed as a child.
Right.
And I think you would go insane.
I
And that is
think-
not something that you would enjoy.
I think that exactly. So that's kind of why like the past is like off limits for me when I'm thinking about a question like this. That's why I'm saying 21st century. I want to see where we get to. I want to see what we've learned. I want to see where society is.
I'm thinking more of just of like health and safety. Like
I see.
18th century Britain
Playing safe.
is kind of close because 18th century Britain, that was kind of when like
People had rights.
like the Dutch were like
Slavery
big
was
European,
done in Europe.
but in the Victorian type, that's in terms
Right.
of like in the late 1700s.
Orgies. It's about the orgies.
British. It could be about the orgies, but life in British like high society was pretty good like at that particular time. If you were living during the bombings of during World War II, probably not the
so
best time.
great, right? Not so good.
But if you had to pick like 1,000 years, I would say 18th century Britain or 2nd century Rome. I would go with 2nd century Rome. I'd be watching gladiators fight. I mean, come on.
Gladiators, right?
I would have to, put aside all my ethics and morality to be,
Correct.
a
There was
2,000-year-old
no-
Bronze Age.
Right. There was no Magna Carta yet. There was no real guaranteed rights for
Yeah, I
human
probably
beings.
would have a problem being like, guys, are we just going to let this lion eat? Oh, we are. Okay, we're just going to.
So-
Wow. Okay.
And why are we doing this? Thursday. That's why we're doing this.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I think I could. Yeah, I could get past it if I had to.
Okay.
Emoji that annoys me the most, absolutely prayer hands.
Okay, thank you.
I
Like,
know.
don't
it is
pray for me.
also,
Don't pray for me.
Yeah.
No one pray for me.
It, it also can mean
Please.
thanks, and I know that it means thanks, but like
Oh,
my
that's true,
mother
too.
used it exclusively as prayer hands,
Got it.
and it was always used as prayer hands to be like
I
God
see.
bless, or it was like when you got sick,
Bless
prayer
your
hands
heart,
would come
and-
up
oh,
or
I
something.
see.
And then now I'll get it for other things where it's just like, oh, thank you so much, but I see it and I'm like, stop praying for me, whereas the person didn't mean it in that
Right. No,
that way,
you're
but that's,
right.
That's
And
in my mind.
you're right.
I see it
you're
as
right.
prayer hands. Like my sister always
Yeah.
called it prayer hands too. Like it was like one of the earlier emojis. I'm just like,
You're
oh,
right.
prayer hands.
And when people mean to thank you, I truly do appreciate it in those cases. But you're right.
Right.
It's like the prayer hand is like, please don't pray for me. Like, don't want to be prayed for.
Right.
It's like, wish me well. That would be great.
Right.
As I will wish you well.
Yeah, most emojis I don't have a problem with, but that's one where I'm just like, seriously. Okay, and you've never made a culinary dish that you've messed up because you've never made one that you tried to
I
make.
thought about it after, and I did. So you know my dietary habits. I eat very basic, right? And don't enjoy food that much, and I don't like. I definitely don't like preparing food. So that's
Right.
weird thing about me, right? So, but with
No,
that
that's not
said,
weird. Preparing food is time consuming,
pain in
and
the ass.
I think preparing food is one of those things where people who love it really love it.
Well, people
but,
who
like,
love it do it. I mean, it's their hobby,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They love it.
and-
Foodies love it.
And I've taken cooking classes, but like it's a lot of work, and unless
Oh, yeah.
you're like enjoy what's after, I'm like, like I took a class where I learned how to make pasta by hand, like,
Right.
and it took 4 hours,
Right.
and it was so much stuff that we screwed
Right.
it up so badly that I
And
was like, I never want
Did
to
it
do this.
taste that much better? I contend it does not.
No, I had no idea what I was doing. No,
Right.
no, I would have been better with a box of Prince spaghetti
Exactly.
and ragu.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Thank
no,
you. Yeah.
it was-
So I was thinking back.
what I
so-
made was not pasta.
That's
I
right.
don't know
So
what it was.
it,
It had flour and water, but
back when I was in junior high, we had what they call them. They call them related arts, where basically like and it was a 2-year junior high. So 7th grade, what you did is you got one cycle or semester or quarter or something. I don't know in each one. You know, because you got a sample. You got
okay.
like metal shop, graphic shop, cooking, sewing, or something. Something like that. Wood
yeah,
shop.
my
or
high
something
school
like that.
had
And
none
then
of that.
yeah, this is the junior
Literally
high.
did not have-
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah,
And then-
like the idea. I have never been to a school until college that had a wood shop, a trade. Like,
Oh,
none
wow.
of- all those things I saw in movies, they were like, oh, they're in shop class. I'm like, what is
What's
shop
that?
class? Where do you work with wood in a school building?
Are you
Like,
sure
there was
you didn't have
no
a wood
place-
shop and you just didn't go there?
Absolutely, absolutely. That did in Southern California. It absolutely was not a thing.
Oh, California. Okay.
Like,
'Cause I was gonna
there was-
say-
there was no shop class, and in Connecticut,
Right. You grew up in
No.
a pretty affluent town. I would have thought that the school would have had.
I mean, I went to many schools, but none
Okay.
of them had a shop.
Interesting.
I would say.
Okay, that's fine.
Moved
So-
around a lot, but that was something I saw in movies that I was like, what class?
Who
is
got
this?
shop? Right. You do. Yeah.
It's like, well, there's the shop
Yeah,
teacher
we
with the
did all
missing
kinds of
finger.
cool
I'm like,
stuff.
who is that?
Right.
Who has that?
Because
Yeah.
in wood shop we did what do we had to do for it was like a was that wood shop or it might have been we had like an architecture class too, which was
I
pretty
don't
cool.
know.
I know.
I
So
didn't have
wood-
architecture.
So wood shop we made something like architecture class. You
Didn't
had
have
to
home
you had
ec.
to basically design a little house and you use little size about this big of studs and you framed
That sounds
a
awesome.
small house. Yeah, and everybody got to
Cool.
go home with their house, which was great. Graphics, you got to make this is back in the day where you did typefaces and like it's like a rectangular shelf and you line up the letters.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we
Oh,
made
right, yeah.
we made our own personal business cards. Like you could make a little symbol and then boom, and then you get to stack all your business cards. And the fun thing was handing them out to your friends. You know, so they did a
Yeah.
good job with it. Sewing, that you took an old T-shirt and you stuffed it and learned how to sew it shut to make a pillow. You know,
Yeah,
which was cool.
never had anything that was like
Wow.
no practical skills.
Wow,
Which I always wondered because it was like
that is
things
odd.
like how to balance a checkbook,
Super
how to
J
pay
had a wood
taxes,
shop.
which still, but yeah, literally.
Those are valuable skills.
Yeah, maybe it just depends on like which part of the country and stuff that you were in, because I saw
guess
many
so,
many
right?
movies and all of them had a wood shop or so I was like, okay, everyone else apparently is going to schools that have
Me
these things,
has a wood shop.
but I just to me I just never was there.
So where I was going with that was in 7th grade, we got exposed to each one of those. And in 8th grade, you got to sign up for the one you wanted to do, you know, because it was basically like, oh, I really liked woodshop or I really liked whatever. And I signed up for cooking for all 4 marking periods or semesters or whatever the hell you call
You
it.
got
right?
to take cooking in school?
Yes. And there was a full like a room with like, it had like 8 kitchen stations with full stove, sink and everything. And everybody could make their own thing in those stations. It was kind of a nice setup. So I took cooking for
Wow.
4 quarters, and by the end, the cooking teacher got to know me because I figured this is a useful skill to have. And she would
Right.
give me like these advanced dishes to make, and the very last thing I had to make was like a souffle. It was like super complicated, and I
Oh my God.
totally fucked it up. So that'd probably be my answer, right? but then shortly after that, I decided I hated cooking. I pretty much never made food again. But
The key to a souffle is you need to liberally butter and sugar your ramekins.
agree, and I didn't do enough.
So that is like kind of like the thing. I think that's one of the things because it's like uh yeah, so egg whites is like if they're too heavy or they're too yeah, that's like
It's a delicate balance.
Because I remember watching Mr. Rogers and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and he had Chef Brockett, who was a chef that he would go visit, and Chef Brockett always had a souffle in the oven. And the thing that I learned about being a kid was in kitchens was you had to be very quiet.
The
Chef
souffle would
Brockett was
collapse.
like, because the souffle would collapse. And so I had this idea that kitchen were quiet
Oh.
places, and they are not quiet places. Just
What do
by, just with banging and and stuff. It made it sound like when a kitchen was just a very quiet, like, yeah, not so much.
Right.
So fuck you, Fred Rogers.
Exactly. Exactly.
Uh,
Well, there you go.
I love Fred Rogers.
No, Mr. Rogers is awesome. He's amazing.
Yeah, Mr. Right, yes,
Changed the world.
wonderful man.
Shaped our childhoods. You know something I just thought of? Our first question there about the songs is that it's kind of a curse in a way because like sometimes you get a song stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Well, I'm running through the entire song with all the lyrics, the instrumentation. You know what I mean? So I got like a whole band going on. It's like if I'm trying to fall
be
asleep.
distracting.
It's very distracting. It's like
But I mean, that's like anything. I mean, you're stopping your brain, which is why heavy ketamine use before bed. And
I knew we'd work the
just,
ketamine in somewhere. This is great.
Propofol, there's worked for if you just general anesthetic.
My
Terrible
goodness.
for sleeping, but it will put you out.
Yes. That's great.
I think. Do we unpack all of the things?
We did it. I mean, this was it, man. We covered the things. We did it in about
Some
an
of these
hour.
were some softballs. We
Yeah.
had I liked the back-to-back questions with how do I
Don't know sex.
I'm not attracted
how do
to
I
anybody, and
relationship.
I
Yeah.
don't know anything about sex because girls are evil demons like that. That
Right.
was,
Yeah, two different approaches
I like
to
that
the
dichotomy.
same result. You know what I mean? It's like the
right.
two different
Right.
views.
But one doesn't have to worry about getting out of Provo, so that was
Right.
like kind of an added step for for Jedediah. So
Oh my god, it's just
yeah,
I hate and
He's gonna move.
I gotta I get the world can be scary, and I get there's things we don't know, and I get we want to believe there's something beyond this life and that they live on. I get people want to believe that, right? Because it
sure.
keeps you sane, right? But like fucking
Does it?
organized religion has screwed up our society so bad over the past
Really
5,000
badly.
years. It's like it is like just it is pretty much the root of all of the fuck ups that are happening today in the world.
Yep.
I had to get that out. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I just
Yeah.
but
Well,
I get it.
because-
Some people it's very personal. If I offend anyone, I apologize. I know, but please make your faith personal. Like stop using books that people wrote from thousands of years ago. It's like
The founding fathers made it very clear with, and which is why
Abundantly.
it amazes me, and not amazes me. It's just it's so stupid when
Christian nation.
the right wing, this idea of a Christian nation, very
Never existed.
specifically
Right.
was the idea when the Continental Congress was going on, was that if they made religion a part of it, there could be no compromise because you'd be requiring
Bound.
someone to you'd be bound by your, and so that was an argument that they had. They're like, no, we can't make any rules that are just specific to a religion because some people would be like, no, you can't break this. So it's like,
Yeah.
anything like that has to be off the table. The only way we can all get along is in a secular society.
Right.
That's the decision they made. If you try to go religious,
Brilliant.
you end up with problems. And here we go.
Here we are.
If everyone can just do their own thing and not be trying to make everyone else do
their
their thing,
thing,
or
right.
tell them that their thing is evil or that their kids are going to a place of eternal hell and damnation. Yeah, if we get rid of all that and, you just want to
Right.
have your own personal relationship with God, that's great.
Please do.
But
That's my biggest thing. That's my biggest takeaway from this.
please get the fuck out of my classroom.
Yeah, please find your own faith. Stop trusting in books that are thousands of years old that don't apply to your life today. Use them as inspirational examples, but not as dogma. That's like the whole. Ugh,
What if you use books written in the
I had to
50s?
get that out.
We didn't know a lot until very recently,
Correct.
unfortunately.
Right.
And there's still a whole lot we don't know, but wow.
Like we learned the world is not 2,000 years old or whatever Genesis says it is, right? It's like
read any history book and it's just ugh.
yeah,
Like when you're just like, oh, ugh. And
the
then what happens?
flavor in it.
Oh God, yeah,
Right.
it's And then all of the molasses came screaming through the streets and buried
molasses
people alive.
through the streets
Yeah,
of
great.
Boston, just rolled
Yep.
through the great molasses
It happened.
disaster. It
That-
did.
Yeah, I mean, people literally just hit by a giant wave of molasses, that
Molasses.
was tons
Killed people.
and tons of pounds.
Yes,
Like that, it's
yes.
it was like getting hit by a wall of glistening syrup.
Yes.
It was just like Aunt Jemima just smacked you right down and just crushed your body with her syrupy goodness.
That story should influence humanity more than some book written 2,000 years ago.
Right.
Because that's something that actually happened, and people actually died. And we learned,
Right.
maybe we should regulate these tanks of molasses and make sure they can't burst and kill people.
Right.
Like, we learned
Right.
something that
'Cause,
day.
yeah,
you
maybe
know?
having
It's
this giant thing on there that's like, maybe
Right.
safety inspections, maybe we should check out what's going on around us so that, if something horrible happens, we don't all
Yes.
get killed.
Yes. Okay, so
Uh,
we diverged, but I had to get to that just because
We
I'm
did.
thinking of poor Jedediah from Provo. I mean, it just I fear for him. So please, Jedediah, make the right choices.
Yes.
So we're gonna sign off because I think it's time. I think we did cover it all though. Relationships, support your friends, better yourself, and then what's the other one? Oh yeah,
Don't be judgy about your college major.
yeah, and
About your friend's college major. So,
Correct.
we needed to remind people that you need to support your friends. That is
Right.
what you do. That's the thing that friends do, is they support each
we
other.
don't think we need to say, but we did because we had to, and that's fine, and we'll say
Didn't
that.
plan on having to explain
Remind
that,
folks
but
of that, right?
sometimes you got to go back to the basics.
And stop being
like intermittent fasting and ice baths, whatever.
Whatever that does, right?
Whatever that was about.
And don't be subservient, and don't be bullied by your sister, and be subservient to what you think your family wants, right? It's like
Right.
learn to say no. It's, all right. I don't mind the softballs once in a while. So speaking of which, we need questions. So there's
Yep.
a link
Right below
below
me.
Green Pants
Me?
over there.
Is
yeah,
it?
yeah,
I
it's,
can't-
it's below. Yeah, no, it's
I
below.
don't.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna do this.
And just,
I'm over
just
here.
point in a random
Is that-
direction. It's fine. Just
Okay,
point.
that's fine.
It's fine. There's a link if you're on a Twitch page, by the way.
Everywhere.
You'll see the link below. It says, "Okay, seriously." That's where you go, and you'll see a Google form where you can submit a question. You can submit anonymously if you want. We prefer to have your name because we like to know where you're from, so Green Pants can mock your place of origin. But that's
Absolutely.
our thing that we do. So please submit your
come on,
questions.
Provo, Utah.
That
Like,
is-
come on.
and there we
You're
go.
killing me.
Yeah. So
And anything even close to Baltimore.
I like Baltimore. I don't know the problem with Baltimore is.
That's wrong.
Um,
It's a terrible city.
this is-
Full of terrible people.
there you go. So please tell us where you're from, and make up a name. That's fine too. So yeah, so we'll catch you next time. But please submit those questions, and we'll be here again 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We'll be right here, and we will
9:30,
answer our
yes.
next set of 5 questions.
Right in this space.
So, in
I will be
this-
sitting. Yep.
Physical and virtual space we will occupy at this appointed hour, and we'll go from
In
there.
your minds and in your hearts.
In minds and don't forget that we're gonna do our gaming stream every Sunday 9 p.m. Eastern. We've been playing a game called GTFO lately, Green Pants, which is called Get the Fuck Out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah,
I might be interested.
yeah, you should check it out. It's the idea is you're a prisoner and you're sent in this underground mine. You're given a mission. You're like, go turn on the reactor. And the thing is, there's all these creatures that are there, and they sleep. So you can either try to sneak by them, and they get cranky, and they might wake up. And as soon as
It
you
sounds
shoot,
like Among Us.
yes, similar.
Okay.
And then when they wake up, they scream, and all of them wake up, and they come and murder you. So
Okay,
it's
I
like
don't
a
wanna play this
horror.
game.
It's like a horror
That sounds-
horror first-person shooter kind of thing. It's fun. We're
I will
enjoying
spend
it.
more time on Pornhub.
I think that's a fine plan.
Browsing.
As well. Browsing, looking for new genres that you might be in.
Tips for Edgar.
Such
finding out
as-
which type of porn women like.
Porn for women. Yes. Full circle. So, all right,
important.
everybody. We love you all. Thank you for coming by and watching. For watching the recording, we love you too. And we'll catch you next week. So.
Good night.